Hello friends, welcome back. Friends, in this series of tutorials where we try to understand the various aspects of stock markets, today we are going to talk about candlesticks. So if you like me believe that instead of having to depend on someone for something, it's better to learn that something, then you should watch this video till the end. If you are someone who trades simply based on what others tell you or simply based on your emotions, and you've been losing money in trading, you need to watch this video in full, and maybe this will give you some direction of how profits can be made in the stock markets. Let me explain. Friends, in the market, there are two kinds of people. One is a trader and the other is a speculator. The speculator simply trades on the basis of his emotions. So if he sees the Nifty or the Sensex go up maybe 10-15 points, he'll think it's going to go up further and he'll buy. If it goes down 10-15 points, he'll sell. He doesn't have a plan. He just works on his emotions. Whereas traders, they generally have a plan. They would be either referring to technical analysis or they would have some strategy in place based on which they trade. And in the markets, speculators feed the traders. Speculators typically lose money and traders typically generally would make money. They both have their sets of profits and losses, but speculators would more be on the losing side while traders would be more on the winning side. Candles is an introduction to technical trading. In this half an hour video that follows, you will understand what candlesticks are, how they can help you trade better. The whole concept of this candlesticks is explained in a half an hour video, and you will learn what candlesticks are, how they are formed, what is the logic behind candlesticks, what are the patterns of candlesticks, how can you identify these patterns, and how can you make your trading more profitable. It's a very long topic, but this is part one of candlesticks where I've generally briefed on all these subjects. And then in the following videos, I'll take these patterns one by one and explain it to you in detail with examples, which will help you understand even better. So friends, watch till the end, and I really hope that this video will be very useful for you.
So friends, this is a picture I'm sure many of you will be familiar with. You would have seen this on TV, you would have seen it on your dealer screen, you would have possibly seen it in some websites. So this is the candlesticks and this is what we are going to talk about. So welcome friends to the world of candles. The candlestick, understanding candlesticks would be your initial steps to uh, profitable trading. It takes you away from, like I was saying earlier, it takes you away from speculative trading to a more organized trading. Friends, you're seeing these two pictures here. One is Rani Padmavati and the other is Taj Mahal. Now imagine you are trying to explain this to a friend of yours, someone who's not from India, a foreigner who's not seen any of these. You could spend minutes and even hours trying to explain the beauty of the Taj Mahal or the grace of Rani Padmavati. You could spend thousands of words, but after everything, if you just show this picture, things change and the understanding becomes very easy. That's why they say that a picture is worth more than 1,000 words. A picture makes understanding much more faster, much more simpler. And that's exactly what candles do in the stock markets. They give you a clear understanding of how the trend is. They give you a understanding of what the demand and supply position of the market is, and based on that, what a possible future trend would be. Please underline the word possible future trend. They do not guarantee that this is what will happen. They tell you that this is might what can happen. So friends, coming to details. There are basically two kinds of charts in technical trading. One is called a line chart. And what you see here is an example of a line chart. What a line chart does is it basically plots the everyday closing prices and then joins them in a graph. So if you see this picture, it's clear that the market is going up. Okay, the trend is up. Now let's see the other kind of graph, which is what today's topic is, the candle charts. And both these pictures are of the same period. The trend is the same, right? But there is a difference in the way it is presented. There are red lines and green lines, and now we'll try and understand what they represent. The big advantage of candlestick charts are that they give you a very clear view of the market trend in a single glance, one glance, and you know what the trend is. So markets typically have three directions. One could be an uptrend where prices are moving up. The other would be a downtrend where prices are moving down. Or there could be periods of a sideways trend, which means the markets are going up and down in a very small range, hardly any movement net on net. So these are the three trends in the market: a uptrend, a downtrend, and a sideways trend. And candlesticks give you a quick picture of what the trend in the market is. So let's see how candles are made. If you look at any markets, if you want to analyze any markets, there are typically four levels that you need to see in the market. There are four levels of prices. One would be at what price the asset opened, the stock opened. What price did it open in the morning when trading started? The second would be what was the high the stock or the index made during the whole day. The third would be what was the low, and the fourth would be finally what was the closing of that particular day. So the difference between the line chart and the candle chart is basically that the line chart only looks at the closing, whereas the candlesticks look at all these four levels. And one look at the candlestick and you can understand what these four levels were. Let's see how it works. So how a candle is made? There are basically two types of candles. One is called a bullish candle and the other is called a bearish candle. So this is the picture of a bullish candle. So let's assume that a particular stock is at 100 rupees. Okay. So it opened that day at 100 rupees. Okay. It came down to say 95 rupees. Okay. Went up to 105 rupees and finally closed at, let's say, 102 rupees. So what happened? It opened at 100, went down to 95, went up to 105 and closed at 102. So net market went up by 2 rupees. That makes it a bullish candle because the closing is higher than the opening, right? That means that particular day there was demand for that particular stock. There was buying in that particular stock. That is why during the day, after making a high and a low, it closed at a higher level. So when the candle is bullish, when there is buying in the market, the color is represented in a light color, typically green. It could sometimes be represented by a white color or any light color. The bearish candle will be exactly the opposite. In the same example, let's say the market opened here. Here the opening comes here. So let's say at the same level of 100 rupees, the market opened at 100, made a high of same 95 rupees, made a low of the same 95 rupees, and instead of closing at 102, which was the previous example, it closed at say 98. So what happened? During the day, the market actually fell. Okay, it closed lower, which means overall, if you see the trend, there was selling in the stock and it closed lower than the open. That is taken as a bearish candle, and that is why the color is red. It is represented by the red color. The difference between the open and the close would be called the body of the candle. So let's try and understand what they are. In both these cases, what you can see is one rectangle here, right? And then an upper shadow and a lower shadow. This rectangle pattern is called the body of the candle. It represents the difference between the opening and the closing levels, right? If the open is at a particular level and it closes higher, it is represented by a green candle. But if it opened at a particular level and closed below that level, it is represented by a red candle. The thin line they are extending, they are called the upper shadow. Okay, the upper shadow is basically indicating the high point of the day, and the shadow below represents the low point of the day. So as you can see, all the four important levels of the market, the open, high, low and close, get represented in the candles. Not only that, if the market was bullish during the day, then it becomes a green candle, and if it was bearish during the day, it becomes a red candle. So it's relatively simple to understand. The red candle would mean that the closing was lower than the opening, right? Closing is here, opening is here, closing was lower than the opening. That is a red candle. Whereas the green candle means that the close was higher than the open. It's very much simple. So what happens is, by just studying the pattern of the candles, by seeing the candles, we can make a reasonable idea of how the market behaved that particular day. Typically, candles help you in an early entry and an early exit. They are called leading indicators. Leading indicators are indicators which give you an idea of what the future could be, right? They're called leading indicators, and depending on the color of the candle, depending on the pattern of the candle, they can be either bullish or bearish. Now let's try and understand the candle patterns. Now if you see this particular picture, the trend is very clearly up, right? Market's been moving up. At the same time, you have these red candles in between, right? So you could very easily be fooled saying that, okay, there was a green candle and then there was a red candle, which means there was selling. Does it mean that the market will go weak tomorrow? Not necessarily. It may or may not. But to understand it better, we need to understand the patterns. So a standalone candles may not give you the direction of the market. Typically, it would be a combination of two candles that are more reliable in giving the trend. And when you combine two candles, it may give out a bullish or a bearish signal. And one important thing to understand is, candles work best when they're combined with some other indicator like a moving average or a MACD or Bollinger Bands. There are various types of indicators. It would always be good to combine candlesticks with some other indicator, not too many, maybe one, maybe two at best. I'll be putting videos on what moving averages are, what MACD, various technical indicators. I'll be putting videos periodically on what they are. It would always be good to combine candles with any of the indicators. Let's try and understand the candles, single candles, what they would indicate. Just try and get the logic of what happens. Look at this candle. In this candle, the market, it's a green candle, which means the market opened here, right? The market opened here and it closed here. Now, what is special about this candle is, there is no lower shadow, there is no upper shadow. What does that mean? It means that the market opened at a particular point. There was just no selling, there was only buying. The market kept on going up, and there was so much demand in the day that the candle closed at the highest point of the day, right? It opened at the lowest point of the day and closed at the highest point of the day, which means entire day there was a bullishness in the market. This is considered a very bullish candle. It's the most bullish single candle. Look at this. Here, what are you seeing? Market opened at this point, okay, but the selling emerged and markets went all the way down. But at this point, buying emerged, and the buying was so strong that it took the market all the way up, not only till the opening level, but even beyond it. And then finally, it closed at the high point of the day. This again would be a bullish candle, and I would consider this as the second most bullish candle. This candle, what are you seeing here? This is a normal candle. Okay, you've got a open, you've got a close, you've got a high, and you've got a low. These are typical normal bullish candles. The size of the rectangle might vary, but they are a typical bullish candle. Look at this candle. What are you seeing here? A long up shadow and a long down shadow, right? And you have a small rectangular body. So it means these are called doji candles. What it says is that the market is kind of undecided, but because it is green, because the closing was slightly higher than the open, it means that the bias could be bullish. So you could call it neutral market with a slightly bullish bias. Now look at this. Here what happened? The market opened here, went all the way up. Okay, the market opened here, went all the way up, right? And then when it reached here, selling emerged, and the sellers were able to bring it down to almost near the low levels, opening levels, right? So they just about managed to make it in the green. So this you would call it as the least bullish candle. The same logic you could apply for the bearish candle in the reverse direction. Now that was trying to explain how single candles work and how you could interpret them. Now let's look at two candle patterns. Okay, again, it's got different names, but the names are not important. What is important is the logic behind the pattern. That is what you need to understand. And let's see what these candles are. Let's understand the logic. Look at this candle. So this was the previous day. Previous day was a bearish candle, right? The next day, what happened? The market opened lower, maybe went down a little more, and then buying emerged. And the buying was so strong that it engulfed the entire candle, right? It engulfed the entire candle. That's why it's called an engulfing candle. It went all the way up and closed somewhere near the high of the day. That is called the engulfing candle. It's typically a good bullish signature. Now look at this candle. That's a single candle. It's called the hammer. What happened? Market opened here, came down, buying emerged, and the market closed at this point at the high of the day. It's called a hammer. This candle as a standalone gives bullishness, but if this appears at the end of a downfall, it's all the more a stronger view that the market is going to reverse. Now look at this candle. What are you seeing? There was a huge red candle the previous day. Okay, one big selling had come the previous day, but the next day did not see a follow-up selling, which means the selling stopped. The market itself opened higher than yesterday, came down a bit, and then went up, and then again closed between more than midpoint of this red candle. In Japanese, harami means pregnant. In Hindi, it's not a very good word, but in Japanese, harami means pregnant. So this candle indicates that the market is pregnant with some good news. That is why the name harami. It says that the market is pregnant with some good news. The selling, it basically says that the selling is possibly stopped and the market is open, closed above the halfway mark of the previous candle. Now look at this candle. Again, a huge red candle the previous day. Okay. Next day, the market opened way lower than the previous day, but again, buying emerged. Okay. It is a big candle, a big green candle. Okay. And again, it closed it above the halfway mark of this candle. So it pierced the previous day's candle. That's why it's called a piercing candle. So what is common among all these patterns are, you had a bearish day, you had a day where there was selling. It could be a strong selling or it could be a reasonably mild selling, but it was followed either by a big bullish candle or by a candle. It did not break the previous day's low, which means the selling might be over. So this is the two candles. There are various candle patterns. These are some of the important ones. And then there are these 3 to 4 candle patterns. Okay, this is more of a confirmation moves. Here what are you seeing? It's called morning star. Again, the name is not important, it's the logic that is important. You had a huge uh, bearish candle, okay, and then the next day the market, it opened below yesterday's low, okay. There was some minor selling, but the final candle was a green candle, which means that the selling is going down, that supply is coming down. There is supply, but it's gone down. But the next day was followed up by a very big green candle, okay. The market opened somewhere near yesterday's close candle and then kept on going up. It's called a morning star candle, and it's the indication that light at end of the tunnel, you could call it, or that the new day is beginning. It's called, that's why it's called a morning star, okay. And then you have the third one, the second one is called a bullish kicker. Again, the name is not important, look at the logic. You've got a consecutive three large candles. There were large selling in the market, but on the fourth day what happens? The markets opened even higher than the previous candle. Look at this candle. This was a very bearish candle. It opened at the high of the day, closed at the low of the day. There are no upper shadows, there are no lower shadows, nothing. It was just selling all the way. But the next day, the market made a decisive reversal. It opened at a particular point, refused to go down at all. It did not go down at all, just kept on going up, 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 and closed somewhere near the high of the day, even beating the T minus 2 candle, right? So this is called a bullish kicker, again a bullish indicator. I was talking about the hammer in the in couple of slides before. Now a hammer, this is the hammer, and I consider this a generally very powerful candle, but that should be only at the end of a major downfall. Okay, you've seen a reasonably large correction here. After the correction, what happens? After a huge big candle, you see a green candle where the market went lower than yesterday's low, much lower than yesterday's low, okay, but closed at above the low. That's typically a trend reversal. It's a bullish candle, a single pattern after a large fall. The color is not very important as long as the closing is somewhere in the middle or somewhere above the body of the candle. Okay, so above the lower side of the body. Okay, the candle can be green or red, but a green candle would be preferable. Okay, and like I said, the stock should have been in a downtrend. The tail, the long tail here is significant. It says that the market had a huge sell-off, but then bulls found their way, they found the strength, and the market rallied and finally won the battle that day. It suggests that there are more moves to come, there are more buying to emerge later on. But it would always be better you wait for a confirmation. Those of you who are okay with taking higher risk can maybe trade on the closing of that day, but generally it's higher to wait for one more day for a confirmation. Bearish candle, it is virtually the logic would be virtually the same as the bullish candles. You had a green candle. The next day market opened high. That is the difference. The market opened higher than the previous day's high, okay, went up even higher, and then suddenly there was a selling, and that selling took it to levels which are lower than even previous day's low. It's a classical reversal pattern, and typically these kind of candles would mean that the trend is now reversing. Shooting star, same logic. The market opens here, goes all the way up, selling emerges, and the market closes at the low of the day. This also typically would be at the end of a big uptrend. Harami candle, market this time is pregnant with bad news. Okay, there was a huge green candle. Okay, and the next day, what happens? The buying seems to have gotten over. Okay, the market opens here somewhere in the middle of the body, tries to go up but does not succeed, comes down and closes here, right? Which means that there is not been a follower buying. That means the market is getting weaker. This could be an indication that the market could be reversing. And then you have a dark cloud cover. Understand the logic again. A big candle here, a big green candle. Okay, the market opens higher than the previous day's high, goes up a bit, and then the bears take over. The market comes down drastically, okay, and closes somewhere in the middle of the previous day's candle or lower than the middle of the previous day's candle. That's called a dark cloud cover. It indicates that the market is now having dark clouds and could be looking at a bearish trend reversal. The logic here for the bearish candle pattern, 3 candles, is the same. So I'm not going too much into detail. This is a doji, which simply says that the market is undecided, but because the color is red, the open and close are roughly the same. That is why you have very small red rectangle. And this generally indicates that the market is undecided. It does not show a trend reversal except at the end of a very large movement. Typically, it's an indecisive candle. A evening star candle is a 3 candle formation, a huge green candle followed by a small red candle. The difference here is the market opened at higher than the previous day's high, closed also above that, but what happened? There was a selling in the market the whole day and not a buying, which means even after such a strong buying that happened, the bulls could not show their powers the next day. Bulls were kind of getting weak, and then the next day bears took over and brought the market down drastically. It's the opposite of the morning star pattern. There's an evening star pattern which says that for the bulls the night is now approaching. A bearish kicker, you have 3 subsequent large green candles, and then suddenly on the 4th day there is a huge fall. Okay, this typically happens when there are some negative events in the markets, sudden unexpected announcements in the markets. This is what happens. Market were consistently going up, but then some event happens, a global market crash or something may have happened, and the market opens at lower than the previous day's low and refuses to go up. In fact, just keeps coming down all the day. Okay, goes even below the T-2 candle and closes very close to the day's low. This is called a bearish kicker and is a negative market indicator. So those were the trending candles. What we saw just now were the trending candles. They would have been either a bullish trend or a bearish trend. Here what you have now are indecisive candles. When we say indecisive candles, it means that the body that you are seeing here are very small. The opening and closing are virtually the same. The market moved up, it moved down, but the open and low are almost the same. So this could indicate different things to different people. For example, if you look at the market opened here, came down all the way down, and then the buying emerged and the market closed at the opening level. This would be exactly the reverse. Market opened here, went all the way up, selling emerged, and the markets came down to the same level as the close. Okay, this is typically a bearish candle. This one indicates that there was market went down, but there was it has an upper shadow. Okay, there was buying, but that buying was not that very strong. This is a classical doji. Market just does not know what to do. It opened here, went up all the way, came down all the way, and then closed here, right? So this is a classical indecisive doji and does not have any much relevance except that the market trend is possibly weakening or undecided. This could be taken as bearish because it closed this body is at the low of the day. So this could be taken as bearish. This could be taken as bullish, but it's always good to wait for a confirmation. So what basically dojis indicate is that the markets are uncertain. They lack direction. They are not undecided on where to go, right? But Dojis with longer lower shadows. What you saw here, the longer shadows. If this shadow is very long, that means it's a bullish candle for the simple reason that markets had gone down, but then buying emerged. Similarly, a pattern with a very long upper shadow would be generally considered a bearish candle because the market went up all the way, selling emerged, and then it came down all the way. This is what is important. Dojis at the top or bottom of a really long bull or bear face are important and could be signaling a reversal. So if you look at what the summary of this understanding, the logic would be is simply this, that the bigger the body, the stronger the trend. Right? So if you have a large green candle, it means there is a lot of buying. If you have a large red candle, it means there has been a lot of selling. Continuation of candles of the same color indicates a strong trend. Okay, every candle in that every day is a green candle, for example. It means that the market is strongly bullish. And if you're consecutively seeing every day as red candles, it means there is a continuous selling in the market. It's a strong bearish trend. Dojis indicate a sideways to indecisive trend. You need to understand this particular statement very, very carefully. Normal trends will have both color candles. A lot of people make a mistake here. The trend is up. They see a green candle and they will exit. That is not actually done. If you look at any trend, a normal trend will have both red and green candles. And in such times, unless there is a pattern, you need to make sure that you understand the trend. And to understand the trend, the simple thing to do is, if the market is higher, that is if the high and the low is higher than the previous day, which basically means higher highs and higher lows, irrespective of the color of the candle may be green, the candle may be red. If it is a higher high higher low pattern, that means that the trend is bullish. And if the trend is that the candles are forming a lower high and lower lows, the markets are forming lower highs and lower lows, irrespective of the color, the trend is bearish. In this case, you might have green candles, but as long as the highs and lows are lower than the previous day, you can safely assume that the trend is bearish. But you always know markets do their own thing. Things can change overnight. Any global event, any policy sudden change announced, all those things can obviously cause a trend reversal. So friends, how do you understand trend reversal? This is very important. You need to understand this very carefully, and this should be your mantra as far as trading goes. A bearish trend reversal would be, the market went above yesterday's high. Okay, listen to this very carefully. The market went above yesterday's high, but the closing was below yesterday's close, which means that the bulls had their way in the initial periods, but then finally the bears took over and they managed to bring the market down to below yesterday's close. That is the sign of a mild trend reversal. But if you ever see this pattern, that is higher than yesterday's high, but the closing is lower than even yesterday's low, that is generally a very clear indicator that the market is reversing. Right? So these two are indications that the market is reversed, and trend continuation as far as bearish trends are concerned is lower low, lower high. Now let's look at the bullish trend. Markets, they went lower than yesterday's low. Okay, there is a bearish market going on, so it went lower than yesterday's low, but towards the closing it closed it higher than yesterday's close. Okay, lower than yesterday's low but closing higher than yesterday's close is a bearish reversal. Lower than yesterday's low but closing higher than yesterday's high, that is it closed higher than even yesterday's high, shows a strong bullish reversal, and that is something you should be catching. So these two things, in a bearish and a bullish trend reversal, these two are very important, and you must track this particular thing, right? Trend continuation in a bullish trend would typically be higher highs and higher lows. Don't bother about the small movements. There could be small 10-15 points variations in this, which you don't pay too much attention to unless you have a large candle. So the advantages of candle charts. Now I have now covered what candlesticks are, how they are formed, what are the patterns of candlesticks, how do you understand the patterns. All these I have cleared. Now let's talk about generally what are the other advantage of candlesticks. One is candlesticks can be used to track virtually every market, not just the stock markets, not necessarily the indices. You can track indices, you can track stocks, you can track currency, for example, USD, INR, or whatever you want. Any kind of asset which is traded can be tracked using candlesticks. So whether it's be capital markets, currencies, commodities, whatever you want, you can track. The second big advantage of candlesticks are the time frames. Okay, candlesticks basically give you these four levels of a time period. In today's presentation, I've generally taken the day candles, but they can also be used for not only day candles. You can use it for hourly candles. You can even use it for 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute, whatever choice you have, you can use it. You can even use it for bigger time frames like weekly and monthly candles. Monthly is rarely used, but weekly, daily, hourly, and minutes are used very often by most traders. Because of this, because they can be used across time frames, they are used by intraday traders, positional traders, and swing traders. So irrespective of whether you are a positional trader or you are a day trader or you are a scalper where you trade every minute, candlesticks can be used. The other advantages of candlesticks are that they are leading indicators. They are advanced indicators of where the market could be going. Because ultimately what candlesticks do is that they give you a pattern based on the demand supply of a asset, and if there is demand, it means that the trend could be going up. If there is supply, it means that the trend could be going down. But like I was saying earlier, it is best when used as a pattern with some other indicators. They've been in use for a long time now. They originated in Japan, and it's now more than 250 years since they've been used. It started with the rice trade, and now it is expanded to virtually every asset that is traded. They're very easy to understand, as you would have seen. It's very easy to understand, and they are one of the most widely used technical tools in the market today. So are they all advantages? Yes, but they also have a few disadvantages. And the one big disadvantage is that they miss the overall trend. They do not take the overall trend into consideration. I'm talking about single candles. They only show the demand and supply for that particular day. They do not give you any targets. You have to form your own targets. They just give you the market trend and the possible trend in the future. They are highly subjective. That is one major drawback of candlesticks. They are highly subjective. So if you have a bullish bias, you will tend to see candles in the bullish bias, and if you are bearish, you will see it with a bearish bias. The other disadvantage is that they have different kinds of patterns, and sometimes people find it difficult to remember all the names and patterns. But like I was saying, what you need to understand is the logic behind the patterns, and if you can understand that logic, you can get a fairly good idea of what the markets would be doing. So how do you enhance probabilities of understanding the markets using candles? One, and the most simplest thing, is visually observe the chart for a proper trend. Use it for the higher time frame. Okay, for example, if you are a trader who trades in the half an hour candle, it would be good to see the larger trend using the day candles or even at least the hourly candles. Candles, like most other indicators, they do not work in sideways market. Things can go wrong in the sideways markets. So you need to combine candles with indicators and oscillators like the RSI or the MACDs, moving averages, etc. to make the best of candles. And remember this one thing, it is not necessary that every candle means something. You look for a pattern. If you don't find it, just leave it. Don't make it a mandatory thing that you have to find a logic or a reason behind every candle. If you find a pattern, if you look for a confirmation, and then you decide whether you want to enter or exit. Here I'm giving in this slide I'm giving you a example of how you could enhance possibilities of candlesticks using moving averages. So what you are seeing here is a sideways market with a slightly bullish bias. Okay, so in this example what I have done is I have added this red line that you see is the 5-day moving average. Okay, so what you could possibly be doing if the candle is green, okay, if the candle is green and it is closing above the 5-day moving average, for example here it is closing above the 5-day moving average. In this candle it did not, it closed just slightly at or below the 5-day moving average, but this candle closed at above the 5-day moving average. Okay, in such times you can buy it. Okay, and then place a stop loss below the 5-day moving average. Whenever the candle moves below the 5-day average, that should be a stop loss. Your profit booking can be subject to your comfort level. If you wait for the stop loss or the exit, a lot of times what happens is you miss out the big move. For example, in this candle, you entered here, the market went right up till here, but you would exit only here, which means you hardly got any profit. You only got the small profit. So I would always suggest you take a position, and whenever you're comfortable with the profit, book your profits. But for the loss, you make sure that you book your loss if it goes below the 5-day moving average. This is one of the logic. There are hundreds of logics, and you should apply logic which makes you comfortable. And if you're a bear, you can do the reverse. You could be selling only if the candle closes below the 5-day moving average. Cover it whenever you are comfortable with the profits, or keep a stop loss whenever the market closes above the 5-day moving average. This is just one example. There are hundreds of ways of trading. You could follow your own logic. But one of the best advice I have got in my life is don't trade both sides. There are people who do that. There are people who make money doing that. But typically, try and trade only on one side of the market. Decide that you will either trade bullish or you will trade bearish. Because if you trade both sides, typically the markets might hit you both sides. So if the trend is not in your favor, if for example, if you decide that you want to play bullish and the markets are below 5-day average, just step back, don't trade. Wait for the market to go up to 5-day moving average again. So that's one of the best advices I have got. And typically, since most of the time markets are sideways or bullish, it makes sense to play bullish. However, please remember this, when the market becomes bearish movements are less, but they are sharp. So most of the time markets would be up or sideways, but in the few times that the markets go down, the movements can be sharp. So whatever your positions are, please make sure that you have your stop loss in place, either by hedging against options or you have a very clear stop loss based on the charts. So friends, this is a very brief about what candlesticks are, what the patterns are. I hope you understood the logic behind all the candlestick patterns, and I hope you found this video very useful. And if you did find it useful, please do like. I would appreciate if you could have some comments on how you like the video, and definitely please do subscribe to our channel, share the channel. Thank you very much. I'll see you again with the next tutorial. Thank you.